What is up, everybody? This is OLB One Lucky Bullet here with a quick let's play slash review of Vampyr, spelled with a Y because it makes it cooler, for your PS4, Xbox, and PC. All footage that I've got here is from the PS4 Pro. I'm not aware of any enhancements that it made, and it doesn't look horrible, but you know it's obviously not running super realistic graphics or anything like that, but it looks nice enough. The setting of it kind of reminds me of Bloodborne with the kind of 19th century steampunkish kind of vibe. Maybe not as gothic horror as Bloodborne, but it's got its grotesque stuff. The game is basically played in the role of the Dr. Jonathan Reed. You're a surgeon from the war, and somehow you get bit and transformed into a vampire, which the game tells you about as you go along. There's cutscenes and kind of throwbacks to what happened as you piece everything together. The game pretty much is open. It lets you do what you want to do. If you want to play the game the hardest way, you don't kill any of the civilians or anything, which is kind of like goes along with being a doctor and the Hippocratic Oath. But if you want to make the game 10 times easier, you can just go around and kill everybody and drink their blood, get massive amounts of experience for them, and you can click your left stick and it actually reveals like how healthy their blood is. So kind of building up a relationship with these people, making sure that they don't get sick, curing them if they do get sick, doing their side quest unlocks more dialogue options and hints and so forth with the people. Makes them more valuable if you decide that you want to harvest them. I'm obviously playing through not killing them because I'm pretty sure there's that trophy for not doing that, but I wanted to make sure that I wanted to play it through that way first, because I feel like even though they don't tell you that's the way to play it, I feel like that's the way it was designed. Almost kind of like a Dishonored. When I played Dishonored the first time, they were like, oh yeah, you can play it however you want, if you want to kill people or not, but turned out the more people you killed, the harder the game got, because the infestation of the rats and sickness and all that made it a lot more difficult. So this game has that openness, that way that you can decide to do it however you want. It has a lot of RPG elements. You get experience for killing enemies, doing side quests, pretty much everything. And the only way to use your experience is when you go to your safe house. There's tons of them scattered throughout the city. You can go to the bed and you rest during the day because obviously you're a vampire. You don't like sunlight. You'll go there, you can spend your experience on special moves that tie into your left-right triggers, your left and right bumpers. And then you can also, at level 10, unlock your ultimates, which you trigger with the left and right triggers together at the same time. There's tons of different melee weapons that you can pick up. Everything from single-handed daggers and like saw cleavers and clubs to more two-handed weapons like scythes and spears. When you're using the two-handed weapons, you can't use your triangle weapon, which is an offhand weapon is what it's called, and those are usually like a pistol, miniature shotguns, like little wooden stakes, things like that. To use those to stun enemies if you decide you want to. If you're using a two-handed weapon, the triangle button becomes your parry. So if they go to attack you, you can parry them, stun them for a second, and it opens up into a bigger combo. Your X button is pretty much your yes and no on whatever you want to do. Square button's your regular attack. Circle button is your dodge. which is actually kind of cool because you like turn into a smoke trail. You jet back and forth. The X button also, like when you're exploring the world, there's certain areas that you can like leap across, doing the smoke like a fast move, and it takes you to different areas. Once you clear the first opening area, you'll get to Pembroke Hospital. And from there, the game's pretty much wide open. You can go anywhere you want. You can go and just explore if you want. You're obviously gonna die. I've stumbled across quite a few areas where, you know, I'm level 8, level 9, level 10, and these people are level 18, 19, and 20. And I've also stumbled across like bosses that were just randomly walking around, and they tie into other side quests. And you know, I found hidden loot, hidden weapons, you know, posters, notes, you know, galore everywhere. There's tons of stuff. The game, for the most part, runs fine. Sometimes it feels a little sluggish during combat. Sometimes the lock-on gets in the way. I wish it had a smart lock-on system where it automatically targeted the closest enemy to you. But, you know, it does give you the option, once you click the right stick to target somebody, you can use the right stick to pick between them. So, you know, at least it does do that. The game does have a few bugs in it. I'm sure they'll fix that with a patch. The second half of the game has a few crashes every now and then, depending on what you're doing. You only get one save file for this game, and it auto-saves constantly. And the reason that they did that was because your dialogue choices. They don't want you to go through the game and then you pick the choice and then you don't like the results and then you just reload your save. They kind of want you to play it all the way through, and then, you know, if you want to play it through again, you can. The game can be completed in around 15 hours, so it's not terribly long, but it's not terribly short. Obviously, you can complete it a lot faster than that if you're just going to steamroll everybody and eat them and drink their blood and max out your character instantly fast. You know, it's got other things that go on at the hospital, which is like your main hub. Every night or every morning when you go to bed, it gives you a breakdown of every area and all the people that you know, and you kind of have to take care of them. Like, did they get sick? You know, if they got sick, then you need to craft some medicine, and you can heal them when you talk to them, and it keeps the morale happy. But it helps you if you're going to harvest them, because then the blood is super healthy. I don't have a lot of complaints about the game. I honestly feel like the game is pretty well done. I mean, could it have been better? Absolutely, but it was already delayed a couple times. So I don't necessarily have anything horribly bad to say about it. Is it worth $60? No. But Best Buy, you know, you're 20% off, or Amazon, you're 20% off. You get it for $47. I actually had some Best Buy reward cards and a $25 off coupon, so I got it for free. So I really can't complain. You know, all in all, the game runs fine. It needs a few patches to iron out a few things, but if you're a fan of The Witcher, you know, Bloodborne, things like that, it plays very similar to both of those games, with the setting for Bloodborne and the open-naturedness of it, of Witcher, with the combat is kind of like Witcher meets a Bloodborne game. I would probably rate this game, you know, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It's got its issues, but nothing that will make you just throw your hands up and quit. Does it have a few difficulty spikes with bosses? Absolutely. You know, the game almost feels like it's pushing you to kill the civilians. It constantly reminds you that, you know, when you die, that there are areas, you know, that are really tough, and it might be better for you just to go eat a couple civilians. And, you know, it makes the choices a little bit more difficult. You know, one of the worst things I could say about the game is the load times. When you transition to a new area sometimes, or when you die and have to reload, it can take 30 seconds up to 55 seconds to load in. You know, it's kind of unacceptable, you know, but, you know, like I said, it's nothing that a patch can't fix, but as I've said before in other videos, I'm rating the game off of the way it is now and not off the way it could be. So a 7 out of 10 I think is pretty generous. It's a good game. It's not genre defining, it's not groundbreaking, but it's definitely worth a good playthrough. It's worth a pickup. I would definitely say hold off if you're spending $60 on it. If you've got a Best Buy or Amazon reward thing and you can get it for around $45 or so, hey, absolutely, it's worth that. You know, it's definitely worth the playthrough on that. Tell me what you think. Leave me a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.